whole premise of Graffiti Blues is it originally was going to be an idea for a comic book that I had, where and that is based on a video game that I really like that's called Jet Set Radio Future. And Jet Set is Jet Set Radio and Jet Set Radio Future. There are these games where it takes hip hop culture, like rap, alternative, kind of like underground punk rock culture. It mixes it with graffiti skate culture, and like there are these rebellious kids that kind of go around the city and spray graffiti and tag, and they beef with one another, like they have different street gangs, but they're kind of, bucking against the man. And then Jet Set Radio Future is kind of like the game that takes place somewhat into the future. And I just really like that game. I like the art style. I like the video game and the premise of it, where they really were fighting back through graffiti. They were dancing in it and they were fighting back with their music. And so Graffiti Blues was inspired by that, because graffiti is an art form of hip hop that I believe is so well known. It just gets taken for granted. Everybody uses it. Everybody likes graffiti. They think it's cool, but it's technically considered vandalism. Nobody really wants to respect it. If you get caught spraying it, you go to jail, obviously. And then it's one of those parts of hip hop that nobody really cares about. And then the blues aspect comes into where, graffiti is such a beautiful thing at times, and it speaks about a lot of stories, and it speaks about a lot of things that are going on in different communities, and it's a voice of people. It's an art form. It's an escape. But it's like people don't really take a note. It's like nobody ever stops and asks who made that graffiti, who made those murals. And as an artist, it feels like that's what my whole career has been. It feels like it's been graffiti that's been in the background, that people say is dope, people like it, people appreciate it, but nobody ever really takes the time to be like, man, well, who are you or what do you do? And so it's like, Graffiti Blues, as if the graffiti could sing the blues. And so that's just it's an idea, me fighting hard for what I believe in. And even as a believer, as Christians, we're the salt of the earth. We're all these different things, but sometimes it can just feel like we're graffiti on the wall that nobody cares about. We just skip over, and it's like we're crying out about certain things, and we're talking about whatever. So I just wanted to create a mixtape series where I'm just kind of releasing all my music that I've made in this Graffiti Blues series, where it's me speaking out. And then from the storyline of the average hero, I'm just an average everyday person that has a superpower, so to speak, which is my music, and I'm fighting back with it, and graffiti is kind of like the rebellious thing. If you see on the front cover, the character has a graffiti can, and so graffiti is just that rebellious. I'm gonna fight back. I'm gonna do what I have to do in order to be heard, even though there's some people who don't want to hear me. So it's a loose concept. And that's where the whole concept of Graffiti Blues comes from.